The biggest problem with men today is that
it's a little quiet.
I think the world is becoming hyper competitive. Most men are not aware and understanding of how quickly there's going to be a genuine shift in between those who have things and those who do not have things. Not just finances, but also female status, everything else. And it's a status game, right? And it's becoming harder and harder for men to play. And that's all women's fault, of course. Because it is because women choose the winners, right? Women choose who the high status males are. So women pretend to give a shit about men. Of course they don't. They give a shit about themselves. And a woman,
along with clips to be watched.
A woman, if you ask her what she wants from a man, she's like, I don't want much. I just want to find a nice man who's a millionaire and 6 foot tall and funny and charismatic and interesting and spontaneous and looks after me and doesn't cheat. And is funny and good looking and strong. I don't want much. Like they name all this shit that most dudes are never going to have. And it's becoming harder and harder. And you end up with people, top G's, who own everything on the planet they could ever possibly wish for. And then you got other guys who have nothing. And there's this large divide. There's no longer any middle ground. You have dudes who can't get any pussy. And then you got dudes who are just blocking girls left, right, and center. And that's what the problem with being a man is today.
What about the women?
What's your take so far?
Damn. Hold on, nigga. Let me give me a second. So first thing, I think one of the biggest problems for men today is the feminization of men. Mm-hmm. Right? I think that's if somebody would have asked me that question, what's men's biggest problem today, I would have said it. I would have said the feminization of men, right? The lack of positive other male role models, right? That's the biggest one. And I wouldn't even went into the relationship stuff, but I do agree as far as the gap, right? And how there's becoming a bigger gap, right? Growing up, there's definitely a gap, right? And the older you get, the bigger that gap gets.
Yeah.
Right, because it's a lot harder. You're not, the 50-year-old guy that's just figuring out is not going to outwork the 21-year-old. So, so
I would say,
I'll tell you.
Well, everybody's got a chance to talk.
I'm gonna shut up and have my Clementine.
No, I want to know. I want to learn from you, sir.
You want to learn from me?
Well, I wanted to answer. I feel like it goes for both. It's not just one or the other. I feel like it's self-accountability.
Women are not accountable for themselves. I agree with you there.
Why is it women, though?
It's both. It's both.
Yeah,
It is
definitely both.
It is both. You're right. But society.
Hold on, real quick. Right? She's asking what is the biggest problem with men, but what is the biggest problem with men? What is the biggest problem with men in relationships? What is the biggest problem with men in general? What is the biggest problem with men? What? I
guess like in general in the world.
Okay.
There's a lot of problems with everyone.
No, I'm sorry. I'm like a lame-o that needs context.
No, that was literally the question. What is the biggest?
All right. Because it sounds like they're trying to talk about relationship stuff. Oh, they're liar. They're not being honest. And he's talking about something totally different.
Well, it goes back and forth. It'll flip-flop back and forth from relationships to society.
Got it.
So just letting you know.
Accountable, but society does not punish women for not being self-accountable. I'll give you an example. If you're a man and you're arrogant and you think you're something when you're not, trust me, society will teach you very quickly that you don't matter when you don't get laid and you stay a fucking brokey. If you're a chick and think you're something when you're not, you can run around with your ego, still get dates, still get laid, still have a fairly...
I was a brokey I'm still a brokey.
No.
Sensible social life. Society as a whole doesn't come along and slap you in the face with realizations. If you're a man and you think you're something you're not, it is a ticking time bomb until society teaches you a lesson.
Correct.
That's the difference. This is why men in general are more self-accountable, because the men who are not self-accountable get fucked up. So those who are successful are very self-accountable people. They look at themselves and go, okay, the only way I'm going to get and progress further, the reason she left me, the only way I'm going to do better, make more money, et cetera, is I have to change. Most women don't want to do that. They don't sit and think I have to change. They think, oh, he left me because it's him, and I lost my job because my boss, and this is this because of this. No, you women don't look in the mirror and change a fucking thing.
No, because don't forget.
I think part of that comes with like failure too, right? Like as men, right? Someone's humility, someone's humility lets me know that they've probably failed at some point in the past.
But I think that if you don't fail, you can't grow. You can't get to the next level if you don't go through a type of failure, right? And so people that always are trying to bypass a failure, they're never gonna they're never going to like actually succeed, because it's going to get capped at a certain point, I think.
Correct.
Because they've never faced that reality they've never faced that reality head on.
Correct.
And for me, you know, I had to make a lot of changes. We went through this in premarital counseling. You know, I was rough around the edges.
No, absolutely.
Coming into this.
Are you guys trying to get me canceled?
See, I'm not gonna.
He's got a nice
I
watch.
don't agree with what you
A
just
Rolex,
said,
right?
because
I don't know
90%
if
of
that's a
cosmetic
Rolex.
surgery is by women. Women are trying to change as much as possible. Men don't want to change. They're not accountable for themselves. They think that's because.
So
because
I
you're a man,
got a
you're gonna be
coworker. I know this is gonna sound crazy in the chat. You guys can let me agree. First of all, somebody's purse is on the floor.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a whole mess.
I learned that a woman should never have her purse on the floor. And two, one of my coworkers would say, he said, if a woman has white toenail polish, you can probably sleep with her. I don't know how true that is. I'm not going to put him on blast. If he watches this, he'll know who he is. But he said when he goes out, he specifically looks for girls with white toenail polish.
And that's a clear indicator that it's an easy bang.
He said if they have white nail polish on, he's getting laid.
That's amazing. Hacks for the guys.
I'm just saying. That's what he said. I don't know.
We got a super chat. Thank you so much, Chris. Can your husband describe Jada Pinkett Smith in 5 words?
No.
5 words.
Come on, man. That's a lot of. I don't even put that much thought into Jada Pinkett, to be honest. I don't put that much thought. 6 words.
There you go. That's your answer. What's up, Harrison Family Values? Oh, Values. We changed the name. What up?
Yo.
All right, guys. We're going to keep watching this.
Yeah, but anyway, the white toenail polish.
White toenail polish. Clear indicator that
According to my coworker.
That you will get laid. Hack for the guys.
And her purse is on the floor.
No,
so.
like you can't be fat. You stay at home. You're just playing video games, and you expect a woman to want to fuck you. No, she's not gonna want to fuck you.
Yeah, but then she won't. This is the point.
Exactly.
And then she won't, and society will teach them a lesson. They might be able to pull off a little blag with a girl for a year or so, but in general, they're going to end up lonely. In general, they're going to struggle to find partners. I agree with you with the cosmetic surgery thing. Women are happy to change their appearance and change how they look, but they're not happy to change how they act. Most of them, they're not happy to change. No, they're not.
The women are changing what the men don't care about.